I mowed my lawn at 4:30 this morning due to my neighbors setting off fireworks at midnight last night. I think I would be this kind of petty if I didn't have other neighbors. Like, if this person was the only person being bothered by it, absolutely. But annoying every other neighbor you might have twice, because they're already annoyed by the fireworks probably, and then annoying them again by mowing your lawn seems not great. You know, in that case, like playing Ding Dong Ditch and just like ringing their doorbell at 4:30 in the morning, it seems like more appropriate revenge actually if you have other neighbors. Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing some chill me IRL, because why the hell not? And also, short side note, I will be taking a little bit long with my next video because I am going away for a few days to a concert and I got too busy with work and everything. So, you know, if my next video appears a little later, don't worry about it. But anyways, you know the deal. Before we continue with the memes today, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, some tea, whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. In the meantime, also feel free to like and subscribe. Do you have your drink? Okay, let's go. When the sleep was so good that you wake up looking like this. Believe it or not, even with hair this short, I managed to have bed hair. It seems like it shouldn't work. And if it's freshly shaven to like 9mm, it doesn't really look that bad, but as soon as it gets a little bit longer, it's just like sticking up in weird directions. Not exactly like this little orangutan, but like I still managed to have bed hair somehow, which seems really rude actually. Dentist, you're brushing your teeth wrong. Nutritionist, you're eating wrong. Parents, you're living wrong. Liquor store guy, excellent choice. Gotta get the positivity where you can, I guess. Like, everyone has an opinion. You know, like, it really doesn't matter what you do. Random people will have an opinion about it. Who you listen to is actually entirely up to you. You know, if you want to listen to the liquor store guy, you know, you can. If you want to make a nutrition choice that you think is okay, even though some randos on the internet are going to disagree with it, go ahead. You know, everyone will have an opinion, but that doesn't mean you need to listen to them. This is what it feels like keeping my glasses clean. Just endlessly pushing a boulder up a hill. Literally, I have no idea what happened. I cleaned them yesterday evening. Put them on this morning and they were already dirty, and I have no idea what happened. They were just chilling on a table somewhere overnight. How are they dirty? I have no idea. I'm convinced there is a ghost in this apartment, and among other things, he likes making glasses dirty. Because I don't know how else to explain it. I haven't even worn them overnight and they're dirty. It hasn't gotten better over day, obviously, you know, because I probably touched them at some point. But how do they get dirty even if you don't wear them? What the hell? This is what my back needs. Steamrollering my back actually seems like a good idea. I'm lucky that I don't have back pain, but from a deep pressure kind of standpoint, I think it would still feel amazing to just like be steamrolled over a little. You know, to just press my soul back into my body and then, you know, just like roll over me a few times and then just like be comfy again. I think this would work, right? It seems like it would work. How the hell is a computer gonna ask me if I'm a robot? My guy, you're a robot. This is somehow also what it feels like to listen to people on the internet. Of them disagreeing with themselves for some reason and not even realizing it. But to be fair, I have never actually thought about it. like, the computer is gonna ask you, but technically, in most cases at least, it was, like, programmed in by a human. But yeah, the irony is, still there. At the hairdresser. Oh, just cut a little bit off, please. Okay. How? How is this a little? But generally, do men have this problem? Because I've heard from a lot of women, and I've also experienced this, of hairdressers refusing to cut your hair short or arguing with you because you have such pretty long hair and like not wanting to cut it too short. Do men go through the same thing, only reversed, where if they want to like keep their hair fairly long, they're just like, oh yeah, no, just like a trim around the edges because the ends are a little damaged, you know, and then suddenly they get all their hair chopped off. Is this a common thing with men? It kind of seems like it maybe would be, you know, but again, I don't really get it. You're getting paid to do what the customer wants. How are you gonna either argue with the customer or just blatantly ignore it? You know, like misunderstanding something or the end result not being exactly what the customer wanted. Okay, it can happen. And like maybe advising them of, well, if you're with this head shape, you know, cutting it like a little bit differently than you want is probably gonna look better, and just like having a conversation about it. Fine, but why are hairdressers out here just arguing? When you show people a movie you love and they don't pay attention or react to any of the important scenes? You know, the sentence of to love is to be seen is kind of the opposite of what's happening in this moment. You know, like if you care about a person, at least showing interest in what they like and showing interest in their interests would maybe be a good idea. Like, obviously, you're not gonna enjoy every movie this other person loves or listen to all the same songs this other person loves just because you care about each other. But making an effort would, like, still be a good human thing to do. You know? Like, if you're tired and you don't have the concentration for a movie, maybe say that before the movie. If you don't feel like watching a movie because you'd rather do something else, maybe say that before the movie, but don't agree to watch the movie with someone because they want to show you one of their favorite movies and then don't pay attention. That's just rude. I'm so sorry. Just chilling on Snowden stairs. Warning, you're running out of it is what it is. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes, no, help. I think the help button might be a good choice. Like help, where do I get new it is what it is? Because how am I gonna continue living if I don't have my it is what it is? Like, how do you want me to do that? Help. Seems like the appropriate answer, just like wanting to continue and hoping you find something else. Sure. No seems just like opting out completely, you know, which would not recommend. But help still seems better maybe than just, yes, I want to continue. I don't know how, but I guess I'll do it. You know, like, there's no shame in asking for help, and if there's a button right there, why wouldn't you use it? Me, trying to act nonchalant after a cat ignored me when I said pss, 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 to get its attention. Literally, I can kind of understand people who get really upset at being, like, maybe rejected or ignored by people. Like, of course that doesn't feel great. But personally, I would be more upset at a cat ignored me. Or worse, a dog. Because cats are sometimes, I don't want to say moody, but sometimes cats are just really not in the mood for people, which is entirely fair. So I kind of get that if they're just like ignoring you or just like walking away. Kind of get that. Most dogs, however, are usually very happy to see people and are happy to be pet by people. And then to get ignored by one? probably hurts even more. You know, thought I'd make you suffer with me, I guess. When you use furthermore in an essay, yes, I'm wearing my smart glasses. Just looking up synonyms for words to either sound smarter, or because you feel like you've already used the word too much, or because you want to make it longer. I just like try to find longer ways of saying the same thing. I think a lot of students or people who have to write essays have probably done this at least once. Me, staring at random objects. A lamp? No. I'm pretty sure this looks like a praying mantis. This is like one of the things that probably just happens either when I'm really bored or like subconsciously that I like see something in the corner of my eye and then have to double check to see that it's actually just a lamp. But I kind of get just doing this when you're sitting somewhere and just like bored. Maybe your phone's almost out of battery. Maybe you just forgot your phone. Maybe you don't feel like taking it out right now. Maybe you're just staring around, looking around, you know, either like people watching or just like doing this. Seems kind of fair. Me, trying to signal my bestie to stop spilling the tea cause the ingredients just walked in. You know, just like coughing. Like if you're looking at the person, you can't pull a too obvious face. You obviously can't say anything. You can try to like come up with something else to be like, oh, I just remembered. Didn't we want to go to that other place? You know, and just like doing this random thing like, oh wait, we wanted to get coffee, right? Like, oh, remind me to show you that great tea in the store later. You know, just like making up random things or just interrupting them to get them to stop talking. Like, I know it's kind of rude to interrupt people on purpose, right? You don't technically want to do it on purpose, but in this case, I think they're gonna be kind of appreciative that you interrupted them. And in other news, this will definitely happen to me at some point at work, because the amount of times I will talk about one of our sales personnel and then get paranoid that they're about to show up around the corner is a little too high. And at some point I will be talking shit about someone who's gonna walk in, but I am willing to take that chance actually. Me. Oh, I found a to-do list written a month ago in which not a single item has been completed. Oh, let me just rip this. We never saw this. It's fine. It never existed. You know, like, honestly, it's one of the things, like, people say not to buy something immediately, to, like, think about it for at least a couple of days. It's kind of giving that, like, maybe you wanted to do something, but then realize that it's not that important to you. That you don't care enough to do this thing, or that it really doesn't matter anymore, or maybe, you know, like it already resolved itself and you don't need to do anything anymore. So honestly, ripping it seems fair. Ripping it seems fair. And also, who needs the guilt? Like, especially if you put like a date on it. Even if you cross it out, the guilt will still be there. Like, you wrote this a month ago and you still haven't done it. Honestly, just rip it. Like, guilt tripping yourself into doing the things, probably not gonna work. So just rip it. Start a new one when you feel like it, I guess. Me, every morning, regretting why I didn't sleep earlier the night before. Okay, listen. Bedtime, like, revenge procrastination, is that what it's called? Of just like feeling you didn't get time to yourself during the day, so you have to stay up later to do something fun for yourself, is unfortunately very real for a lot of people. So I kind of get it. So like I'm not saying this is me, but I'm also not denying that it is. But also, last night I went to bed fairly early. I went to bed at like a little after 10. and I needed to get up at 6:30. It would have been really fine, right? Only I was so tired until I got into bed and then couldn't sleep. And got up again around like 1. And watched like 2 episodes of a show and then went back to bed and slept like 3 hours. So, you know, there's that. Sometimes you can't help it, but even if you legitimately just felt like you wanted to do something fun for yourself because otherwise the day felt too sad or frustrating, I'm not gonna come for it. Have you ever been so angry you started crying? Who made this as a coffee banner roll? Like, imagine waking up, like in the previous meme, I'd already been like, why am I awake? I need more sleep. Going to a coffee store because you don't want to make coffee at home that morning. Only to be called out by your coffee cup or like the banderole around your coffee. Like, that's just evil. It seems evil. Like, instead of just writing some inspirational thing or just like good morning or enjoy your coffee or just like random things or like your cafe slogan or whatever. No, you decide to annoy people. This is not chaotic neutral anymore. This is like chaotic evil because that's just rude. Sad person having their head bowed on their legs. Ghosty coming to check on them with a sheet and just putting it over them. Now we have 2 ghosties. Is this an attempt to cheer this person up, or is it I don't want to look at you mope, so I'm just gonna put this sheet over you so I don't have to look at it anymore? I'm kind of hoping it's a wholesome of, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna do something silly to cheer you up. Or maybe it just feels cozy to be under this sheet and you'll feel better. I'm kind of hoping it's a wholesome ghost, you know? By age 35, you should have a huge box of cables, but you can't throw them out because you're pretty sure you still need a couple of them, but you're not sure which. But listen, I thought about like putting tape or something on my cables to note which device it goes to, but that just looks ugly, so I don't. So I probably have cables somewhere that I don't know what they belong to. And I did actually throw them in a see-through box the other day. But also I lost some cables. I had like the aux cables because the one I have in my room right now is it's not broken. It just has like kind of a loose cable. So sometimes it works. Sometimes it just makes the irritating noise. So I got the new ones out of the living room and then I have no idea where they went. They're not in the living room anymore. They're not here, but they have to be somewhere here. You know, I should have put them in the box because then I at least would know where they are, you know? But yeah, you could probably throw out like at least half of these cables because you're probably never gonna need them anymore. I was at work and I was so upset that someone had left their dog in the office, so I went to play with it and it's a freaking statue. Then I was more upset. Why would you do this? Literally, why would you do this? You're gonna bait so many people into thinking, oh, cute puppy, and then to realize it's a statue and they can't go pet or play with the cute dog. I don't know if this is worse or like the coffee banderole calling you out about crying when you're angry. I really don't know. I think this one might even be worse. Wi-Fi. Connected. Me. Then freaking act like it. What are you doing? You can't tell me you have Wi-Fi. You can't tell me you're connected. And then still not work. What are you doing? Honestly, I think I'm really not alone in this. The thing that probably frustrates me the most is when technology doesn't work the way it should. When the internet isn't doing what it's supposed to, when a program or a website isn't doing what it's supposed to, or just like keeps crashing. Or it's just really slow. Literally, that is the fastest way to irritate me. But I really think I'm not alone with this. My life going up in flames, burning to the ground. Me giving people motivation, support, and positive advice. Listen. It is easier to give other people advice than to listen to your own advice. You know, like you could give yourself advice or like support and just be like, well, no, it's fine, it's not working right now, but I'm sure it will soon. We can get through this, and just like trying to motivate yourself and everything. But it's easier to just like give advice or motivation to other people. Just be like, oh no, sure. I know it sucks right now. I'm so sorry you're going through this, but you know, it will get better. You know, because it's just easier than actually fixing your own life. That doesn't mean you should exclusively be doing this. Like, it's nice to support your friends or whatever, or your family, and just be there for each other. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be trying to put out the dumpster fire or wildfire, by the looks of this picture, of your own life. You know, like, sure, it's maybe not easy, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't be trying, you know? Anyways, that was all the memes for today. I keep thinking about the aux cables now, so I'm gonna leave it here so I can go look for some cables, because they have to be somewhere. I know I said this apartment is haunted because, yes, while the ghost likes making glasses dirty, I think they also enjoy stealing things and hiding them somewhere where I'll never find them again. But I'm not giving up on the cables yet, so I'm gonna go look for them. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the meme, I hope you feel a little called out too, and I'll be back in a couple more days with my next video.